Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Potential Unleashed. We're back with another video. We have chapter 1020 review. Let's get into it. And I'm sorry if I don't really seem so happy or energetic. I got my second dose of the COVID vaccine and I feel a little tired and a little bit exhausted, so I apologize in advance, but we're going to push through. But the title of this chapter is called Robin versus Black Maria. I got spoiled a little bit for a couple stuff. It was hard to avoid spoilers, especially with One Piece being on break for 2 weeks. But the chapter, it was pretty solid. We start out with Yamato and Kaido. It talks about Yamato's devil fruit. It's a mythical zone, the dog devil fruit, or the Makami. And so it's supposed to be the guardian deity, or the guardian over Wano. And so Kaido, he's like, well, you can still be that guardian, but you're going to be that guardian for me. He said, how dare you call yourself Oden and you're doing this? And so he's like, here's the thing. Orochi, he may be useless. However, the way that he has this country going, it's not really hard for anybody to step in and be that deity. So be that deity for me and watch over this country. And Yamato's like, I ain't doing that crap, man. I don't want to do that. Because Yamato wants to be Oden and he wants the country to be opened up just like Oden wanted it to. So Yamato is going against her father. Dang, that's pretty hard to do. I keep on saying she on accident. I apologize. But basically, Kaido wants Yamato to protect the country for him, and Yamato wants to protect the country for the samurai and for the people, because that's what Oden would do. And then Yamato does this, I guess you could say, kind of like a fire-breathing attack. I believe it's the Namuji Hyoga. And then Kaido fires back a blast breath, and they cancel each other out. So they're still fighting. And that's pretty much all we get from Kaido and Yamato. I was expecting a backstory for Yamato or Kaido here, or sometime in the future. So I'm looking forward for whenever that happens. So now we cut to Brook and Robin going against Black Maria. Apparently, Black Maria and her underlings, they have some form of memory manipulation where they are showcasing people from Robin's past. Nico, Olivia, Sal, and I believe Professor Clover. And so Robin is running towards them like, hey, it's been a long time. How are you guys doing? I miss you guys. And Brooke's like, hey, Robin, what are you doing? He's like, hold up. And then Robin, she ends up attacking them. She's like, it's too good to be true. And so apparently Robin wasn't under the spell after all. And so she takes out 3 of the numbers, or whatever, not numbers, whatever, like the gifters or smilos, or whatever devil fruit that they have. She takes out some of them, some of the people that were giving Sanji trouble. And I want to clarify, it's not that Sanji couldn't take them out, but they're women, and we know Sanji doesn't hit women, so that's the reason why he was having trouble with them. And we all know Robin's upset. She's like, hey, how dare they mess with people's memories like that? And so Brooke's like, hey, you should have given me a warning or a heads up or something that you weren't controlled. And then Robin said, hey, you weren't controlled either. And we know that Brook was on his ship for 50 years? He said he was always thinking about his friends and made him sad. And he wanted to come back, but no matter what he would think about, they would never come back. So he's used to this. And Robin's like, hey, we're 2 peas in a pod. I actually think Robin and Brook have an underappreciated relationship. Reminds me of whenever they entered Onigashima. Brook, he changed into the Beast Pirate's gear. And he's like, how do I look? And Robin's like, so boring, or like unoriginal or something like that. So Robin and Brook, I love their relationship. Apparently, the bow or like spear-like attack or tool that Black Maria used, it's called the Flepisode Winado or something like that. Apparently, it's a small devil fruit eater, or it's like a dog-like creature, Brook said, and it talks and acts on its own and it thinks on its own. So apparently, it's sentient. So that's pretty interesting. So I guess that's why it's a 2-on. Technically, I guess you could say a 2-on-2 fight. Black Maria, she then used an attack that causes fire on the floor. Her spider net looks a little bit different. Robin, she picks up Brook, which I guess Brook, even though Brook is tall as fluff, I guess since he is bones, he's light. But her spider net, it's kind of like a web from her wrist. Instead of like I know it's just limbs spread out, but it just looks a little bit different. Brook, he goes and he chills the floor. He also takes out Black Maria's assistant, the episode when Nato or whatever it is, the dog-like sphere being. So he takes on that. And then Brook, basically, he goes and deals, it's like, hey, I'm going to deal with the other fodder. Nico Robin, you got this? And she's like, yeah, I do. Because Black Maria, she talks a lot of crap about Sanji. She's like, oh, Sanji, he's the second highest bounty. We all know Zoro's stronger. But she's all talking like, hey, you know, he's weak and he had to rely on you and he set you up. Like, your crew's always going to abandon you. And we know that's not the case because they declared war on the government. And I believe that Robin, she had something similar to, you know, calling Luffy the king of the pirates. She didn't explicitly say he's going to become the king of the pirates or Luffy like everybody else does. But she talks about, oh, well, Sanji's is the left wing for that of the Pirate King or the future Pirate King. We know that means Zoro's the right wing, Sanji's the left wing, and then we have Luffy in the middle. I lied. She said he's one of the wings, so I guess that means talking about everybody. I thought it said left. I don't know, I read it at like 3 in the morning, something like that. But Robin, she's really upset with Black Maria talking trash about Sanji because Sanji's a kind soul, he's a nice person, so don't talk trash about him. We know, I believe in chapter 998, or 1005, 1006, something like that. She's like, the demon in me comes out whenever you hurt my friends, so or talk about my friends or something like that. So obviously Black Maria doing this made Robin upset. Robin ends up using an attack called the Gigante Flare. I wish I could say it as well. Her Japanese voice actor has one of the best voice actors I've ever heard. And this attack, it sprouts out a Nico Robin with multiple tentacles, so I guess she's going to use that to fight against Black Maria. Pretty excited. I don't think we're going to get this again in next chapter. If I'm being honest, I think we're going to take a break from seeing her versus Black Maria, unlike Frankie and Jinbei, who went again and defeated Sakashi and Husu back to back. I think it's going to be more like Nami and Ulti and Usopp in page 1. Their fight, how we saw them, we cut away from them, saw them, cut away from them, finally we finished with them. But in the end, Momonosuke, he's with Luffy and Shinobu. And Luffy, he's trying to eat meat, and he ran out of meat. We also see Caribou, who, if you guys don't know who that is, the Mud Man, was snuck on their ship with Fishman Island, tried to steal the mermaids, all of that. Caribou, he's like, hey, I won't be free unless Luffy beats Kaido. So I assume that Caribou is going to go and get a lot of meat and then give it to Luffy. Pause. Because, well, that's his ability. He can put a lot of stuff in him. Pause. And then Momonosuke, he talks about, he's crying because of what happened to Kiku and Kyomo. He's like, hey, they protected me and I don't know what happened to them. Like, he assumes they're dead. Which, I don't really remember Kiku ever doing anything to protect him. Not like on the level of Kyomo. I don't even remember Kyomo's sacrifice. I thought Kiku was fine, but apparently she's not. Luffy's like, hey, you don't have any right to cry right now. Cry for after the battle's over. You got something you have to do, which I find a little funny because once Ace died, Luffy ended up crying, so I think it'd been a little bit hypocritical. But he's like, hey, Momonosuke, you got one thing you're going to do for me. You're going to fly me back to Onigashima so I could take down Kaido. So we're going to see a Momonosuke Kaido interaction, Momonosuke with his devil fruit, something, maybe it'll get awakened, or something of Momonosuke evolving where he's going to be able to do something. I'm really excited. We have no break next week, so I cannot wait for that. I wonder what's going to happen next chapter. It's probably going to either be something with Sanji, Yamato, or Zoro. In my opinion, I think we haven't seen them in a minute. So I'm really excited, but let me know your guys' thoughts below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video from me. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok is on the screen in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.